Welcome back to Excel for Economics, and now we'll be talking about pivot tables and pivot graphs. These are incredibly powerful ways of observing a data set and aggregating it in averages and getting standard deviations as well as percent changes in quite easy ways. And then pivot tables can connect to other databases like CSV files, Access databases, and SQL. And then they can make graphs quite easily. So let's go look and see how that's done. So let's say I have this data set from stock market exchange data, and I want to create a pivot table. Well, that's quite easy. I just need to go to Insert and say Insert Pivot Table. Give it my data range, okay? And you can see here that I can use an external source and choose a connection and connect to another database or Excel file. But here, I'm just going to connect here, grab all this data here, and then say, okay, so where do I want it to go? I want it to go to J7. I could move it to another worksheet, or I could have it directly on here, anywhere I wanted, other than over top of the data itself. Click OK, and then I have my pivot table fields. Now, what do I want in my rows? Well, I'd like to have my index on the left-hand side. That'll give me my dates in the correct order. And let's say I want to start having my values. Okay. Open, low, let's say close or high price. Actually, let's go with high. So that's my low, open, low, high, close. And you can see that it maintains all of these orders. And I get a grand total, which is useless to me because it doesn't tell me anything about the stock market. So I can get rid of that just by doing table options, totals. I don't need to see the grand totals. And you say, okay. I can change my field settings. So the field value itself, so open, I could have it as a count. I could have it as an average. I could have it as a max, standard deviation. And I can also show values as a percent of the grand total, percent of the row total, percent of something, difference from the previous, running total, smallest rank, index, number of different options that I can choose there. So I'll just leave it as it is. Since there's only one observation, an average and the sum are going to be the same. But I could select different ones in this row if I felt like it. Let's say I only wanted to see the last 3 or 4 observations. There we go, 5 observations at the end. I can select those ones directly. If I want to see them all, I just have to highlight them all. Now, how do I get this into a chart easily? Well, I just need to select it and then go Insert and then Pivot Chart. And I can choose a number of different kinds. I'll choose a line graph, and there we go. I'm done. I now have a line graph showing my open, close, high, open, low, high. And then I can format the chart if I need to. I can make the minimum 10,000 so that I can see the graph a little bit better. And I can do any charting things that I want during that period in time. And you can see that the high is above the low for this set of days. Now, and that's many of the features. There's also a number of other things you can do with pivot tables. Pivot tables are quite powerful. And you have to generally just play with them in order to get a better idea of what you can do. And we'll see you in the next video.